All right, greetings everybody. Dr. Keith is back. I apologize for the length of time between podcasts. I'll explain that stuff at the end, but I'm glad everybody's here. Guys, I just want to kind of jump right into this. So on the last podcast, we talked about healthy boundaries and within unconditional love. And then there was a comment that came up and it was a great question. And in that question, it was about how is it possible to have unconditional love? I'm summarizing, but how is it possible to have unconditional love if you have boundaries? Interpreting it as boundaries around our heart, like trying to protect ourselves from being hurt, not being open. I just want to clarify this. I think it's very important for us to clarify this because this idea and this concept of unconditional love is foundational for everything we're going to be talking about moving forward. So I want to make sure it's a good set foundation before we move forward. So I just want to clarify, when I'm talking about healthy boundaries, I'm not talking about boundaries around our heart. I'm not talking about things that are going to hinder us from loving somebody else. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about setting up standards, essentially boundaries that are going to enhance and protect the relationship. And that, again, that relationship doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic one. It could be at work. It could be on a team. Any type of relationship we have, having healthy boundaries will help to enhance and protect our relationship. Another thing I want to touch on and go just a little bit deeper is that if someone offends us, that does not necessarily mean that the unconditional love is lost. Remember, that's the difference between conditional love and unconditional love. With unconditional love, there's nothing that can be done to lose that love. With conditional love, you have to do certain things to earn that love. So that's the difference. So if someone offends us or violates our boundaries or does something wrong, that doesn't shut off the unconditional love. And what should happen, if a person wants to be in a relationship with you, the offender, what they will do is they will own their mistakes, they'll own their behaviors, they'll do something to fix the situation, and they will correct their behaviors. This is someone who wants to be in a relationship with you. They recognize they've done wrong, and they want to be in a relationship with you, and so they're trying to do what's necessary to fix the relationship. Now, I think this is a deciding thing. This is something that kind of came up in my mind in regards to unconditional love and conditional love. When it comes to someone walking away versus someone being pushed away. With conditional love, again, we're telling somebody that you have to fit into this mold. You have to do what we say. You have to follow our rules. And if you don't follow our rules, we're going to kick you out. But with unconditional love, it's the complete opposite. So it's the other person saying, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I don't want to enhance and protect what we have. I want to go out and do whatever it is I want to do. That's the difference. The person in unconditional love, they're leaving. They're making the choice to leave. We're not leaving. We're not saying we're going to change. We're staying the same. We're saying we want to enhance and protect the relationship. We want to be in a relationship with you. The other person is saying, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. In regards to you can look at a biblical examples like the prodigal son. The father said, hey, I want to have a relationship with you. I want you to be with me, whatever. And he's like, nah, I want to go off and do my own thing. He goes, does his own thing, messes up. He comes back. Father still loves him. So that's just a quick example of what that unconditional love looks like when the other person leaves and comes back. And so I have two more examples I want to kind of dive into real quick. And one is about God. And it's kind of similar to the example I just gave. So if God wants a relationship with us and he has those boundaries that protect us and enhance the relationship, and it's good for both people, right? And that's another key thing I think I forgot to say, that it's a win-win situation. When we have those healthy boundaries, it's a win-win situation. And so not only is it a win-win, but again, it protects and enhances the relationship. So the example with God. So God's steadfast, stays the same, everything like that. Someone says, I don't want to be with God. I don't want to be in a relationship with him for whatever reason. They go off, do their own thing, mess up, realize, oh shoot, let me go back to God, So God's still there, like the father. He says, hey, come on, bring it in. As long as you're alive, you can always come back to God, right, and restore that relationship. There's nothing that's going to come and take your place in that relationship with God. Now, this next example is a little bit different. It's still unconditional love, right? So God has the unconditional love. This next example is a little bit different. And let me explain why. Because when humans, with our relationships, there are opportunity costs. There are windows of opportunity that if you don't take advantage of it within that time, you could lose that opportunity. So I'm going to start with relationships, having a spouse or significant other. Let's say you have a spouse or significant other that says, hey, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I know you love me. You're a great woman. You're a great guy, whatever. I don't want to be in a relationship with you for whatever reason. All right. So they leave, and maybe we're hurt, but we still love them. We still want the best for them. And they leave, and they're gone for an extended period of time. And then here's the window of opportunity, right? It's gone. Let's say we try to reach out to them. We try to restore the relationship. Like, hey, come on, let's talk about it. Let's work it out. Whatever. Like, nah, I'm good. And then guess what happens? We move on. So if that person has a prodigal son experience and they realize, oh shoot, I messed up. That's a great guy. That's a great girl. And they come back, we may not be available anymore. We may have moved on. We may have another relationship. Doesn't mean our unconditional love for them stopped, but there's definitely not going to be a relationship or any type of romantic love there. So you think about my exes. I think about my wife's exes, things like that. We don't want bad things to happen to them. We love them. As people, we want the best for them. Have a happy life, have a happy wife, have a happy husband, get a successful job, house, car, whatever. Have a great life, but the window of opportunity for us to be back together is gone. And so that's the risk we take when we don't want to enhance and protect our relationships. And for those who are like, well, Keith, I'm not in a relationship right now. But it's the same thing for a team or a coworker on a job. For instance, like on a team, I can't be on 2 teams, right? If I'm on 2 teams, I'm not protecting and enhancing the relationship on my team, on that one team. And what happens when the 2 teams have to play each other? It doesn't work that way. We have to make sure that we understand that the window of opportunity might be gone. So we got to be careful when we're leaving these relationships where this unconditional love exists, because the opportunity might be gone. I might be replaced. I might literally be replaced on that team. Let's say I leave a team for some reason. Like, I don't like the coach, whatever. I leave and I come back later on. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't have done that. I disrespected the team, disrespected the coach, whatever. You might say, yeah, no, you good, man. We forgive you. We love you, man. Hey, bring it in, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, hey, man, can I get my spot back? Like, nah, man, the spot's gone. Had to give it to somebody else and we had to move on. Just like the relationship, it's filled by somebody else willing to enhance and protect it. Just on a job, you leave a job, maybe you're acting silly or whatever, or whatever the case may be. And then you come back, yeah, no, I made a mistake, da-da-da-da, I want to make it right. Like, yeah, no, cool, man, we accept your apology, but you know what? We had to move on. This spot's filled. We don't have another vacancy for you, and we don't know when another one's going to be there. So it's very important. It's very, very important. That's what I'm saying. With humans, it's a little bit different, because with God, there's always a spot for it. There's no other person on the planet that can take our spot with God. He has like a spot specifically carved out just for us and him to have relationships. So no one can take that spot from us. But when it comes to human relationships, you most certainly can be replaced. You most certainly can be replaced. So you got to be very careful about going out there and trying to do whatever you want to do. Those are just some examples of what could happen if we don't have the boundaries, right? If someone leaves from those boundaries, that opportunity could be lost. Again, doesn't mean we don't still love them. I could still love them. I could still say, hey, man, I want the best for you. I want you to succeed. I want the good things in life to happen to you. But as far as a relationship for me and you right now, we just can't do it. I got a different business partner now. Hey, we're moving in a different direction. There's no space for you anymore. So it's just we got to be really mindful about that. I think it's very, very important to be mindful about that while, yes, we can still love somebody unconditionally, that spot, that opportunity may only be there for a short period of time. I just want to wrap this up. I know this one's a little bit shorter, but I just want to wrap this up. So healthy boundaries are great, right? They're phenomenal for relationships. We need them. It's so important to have those healthy boundaries in a relationship. And a healthy boundary should not hinder the love we give or receive. It should protect and enhance. And it's a win-win for both people. It's not a compromise, right? It's a win-win for both people. And when these boundaries are being set up, it should always be under that criteria. And so if it's not under that criteria, if for some reason those boundaries, only one person's standing to win from it, only one person's gaining from it, then you might not be unconditional love. Whether intentional or unintentional, it may not be unconditional love. And I think it'd really be really important to reevaluate what those boundaries are, because both people in a relationship should feel safe. They should feel protected. They should feel loved. They should feel like they're gaining something from it. It should never be one person giving, and then the other person taking. That's not what a relationship is. And it's definitely not 50-50. It's 100-100. I'm giving my 100% into the relationship. My wife is giving her 100% into the relationship. If I'm on a team, we're all giving 100% in this relationship. And that's why we can't go out into all these other relationships. When we decide to leave and want to go out, we can't. Those guys out there say, oh yeah, girl, I love you. And when I sleep with those other women, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything to me. But I love you. Get out of here. Kick him to the curb. And if a woman says that, kick her to the curb. That is not enhancing or protecting a relationship at all. It's not at all. And it's like the example I gave before. I can't play on 2 teams. Oh yeah, I'm going to play on this team. I'm going to play on the LA Rams and I'm going to play on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm also going to play on the Houston Astros, and I'm also going to play on the Las Vegas Golden Knights. It doesn't work that way. How am I going to give 100% in all these different areas? I can't. It's not possible. A guy that's going sleeping around with all these other women, he can't give 100% to his relationship. He can't. It's not possible. That's why we have to protect and enhance or set those boundaries up for these relationships, because that's where unconditional love flourishes. It's a place where you can be yourself, you can be valued, you don't have to be scared of a loss or anything like that. That's what these boundaries do. I'll give you a quick example. I'm going to wrap it up and then we're going to go. All right. Think about a wedding vow. The one that sticks out very clearly to me is forsaking all others. That's a boundary now. That's a healthy boundary. Forsaking all others. Why should we forsake all others? All other women, all other men. Why should we do that? Because it's a boundary. And I'm giving my all to the person I'm making this vow to. That's why. It enhances the relationship. I'm giving my 100% energy and time and love and effort to my wife. That's going to make our relationship better. That's going to have me contemplating how we can make the relationship better. That's going to be thinking about her entirely. But if I'm thinking about another woman, there's no way I can give my all to my wife. It's just not going to happen. So that's what these healthy boundaries do. They enhance and protect our relationship. And you know what? They also help us to focus on the things that are most important. But that'll probably be a topic for another time. And it's a win-win. So remember, if these boundaries are being set up and it's one person getting everything and the other person getting nothing, or one person has to compromise all the time or everything like that, you might not have healthy boundaries. And you might want to reconsider and revisit that and come back to what healthy boundaries are. I love you guys, but trust and believe. I'm still in the lab. I'm still studying. I'm still working. I'm still grinding. I'm still writing, and I'm still getting to get more content out. But trust and believe, guys, I definitely want to get more stuff out to you. Until things settle, it might be a little bit slower. Maybe like 1 video a week instead of like 2 or 3 like I was doing before. But I love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. I love every single one of you. I hope this blesses you guys. I hope it kind of clarifies what I mean by unconditional love and boundaries. Again, not boundaries around the heart or limiting the love we give, but boundaries around the relationship so we can give love more freely, and it can enhance and protect our relationship and bring us to new heights. So I love you guys. Once again, y'all take care. Remember, we're improving the world by improving you. We're looking for real change right now. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. Bye.